Looking for more information on the Logitech C920? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how it looks when it's plugged in, how the mic quality sounds, and the most important things you need to know about this webcam. Now, my name is Rakeem Madison, and we're going to jump right into today's content. All right, so right now you're looking at me on the Logitech C920. This is exactly how it looks out of the box. Now, one thing to keep in mind is, yes, I do have a lighting kit and it's right here in front of me. It's angled at me, so that may have an effect on how it actually looks. I'm gonna also show you how you can edit the settings to make your webcam look even better, so you definitely wanna stick around for that. Now, what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna do a couple of tests so you can kind of see, the quality, right? So I'm waving my hands. That's the first thing. Let me know if you see any frames drop. That's possibly because I have it in 1080p right now, so it's probably kind of going on my computer. I actually have the MacBook, the M1 chip, but you can kind of see exactly what's going on here. And then also what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand in front of the screen. I'm going to go slow at first so you can see how the autofocus works, and then I'm going to go a little bit faster so you can see are there any frames dropped or so on and so on. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to let you hear how the mic sounds versus my external mic, because right now I'm actually recording on my external mic. So let's go ahead and see how that sounds. All right, so this is how the Logitech C920's mic sounds. As you can kind of see as I continue to talk, when I say things like, drop a comment down below, or just kind of let me know what you think about the quality for this mic. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my external mic, which you'll be able to kind of compare the difference between the two. All right, so I'm still on the Logitech C920 webcam, but as you can see, I've actually switched back to my external mic. So let me know down below in the comments if you can actually hear the difference between using an external mic and actually using the mic that actually comes with the webcam. Right now, if you like how this sounds, then everything that I talk about, any accessories, outside of the Logitech C920, all the links will actually be down below in the description. And full disclosure, those are affiliate links, so if you do decide to buy through those, I will receive a small commission. All right, so now we're going to talk about the Logitech software, at least the one that I recommend, because it's two of them that personally, they mess up my settings for my mic, so I don't use them personally. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on over there. This one right here called Logitech G Hub. This is a choice that you can use, but me personally, every time that this software starts, it messes up my mic. I get this bad delay and it's just horrible, right? So I don't use that mic personally. That software personally. The other one that I'm about to show you, you could actually use that one, and it's very, very, very similar to how G Hub works if you're on Mac. I don't know if they have this one on PC, and I'm sorry if they don't. All right, so now what I'm going to show you is the Logitech camera settings app. All right, so this is how it looks. All I did was literally just came over here and downloaded it for my system. Now you can see the systems that it allows, right? So you can see Mac OS 10.15, and then we can see it's also on Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7, right? So this is actually how the app looks right here, right? So it's pulled up, and you can see I'm in the bottom corner, and I'm also on the middle of the screen. So instantly you see the arrows pretty much making it to where I can move my, move me up, or I can move me down to the side, and I can also zoom in. So I'm going to show you how it works. So if I click standard, it may change where my view actually is. So when I hit standard, watch what happens. So you can see down here, I look a little bit different. Now, if I go to widescreen, you're going to see it kind of stretches me out a little bit. So you can do that, and these are the exact same things you can actually do when it comes to using the G Hub software. So now over here, you want to just go ahead and leave this on NTSC 60 Hertz due to the fact, like if you're in the United States, but if you're like somewhere else, I think it would be PAL 50 Hertz. You just got to kind of test that to see what works best for you. Now, when it comes to adjusting like exposure and all of that good stuff, then over here, you can see these are the default settings. Like I was telling you earlier in the video, you can kind of play with those. So like if I want the brightness up, right, I can pretty much go as bright as I want to. Obviously, you don't want to be that bright. For me personally, my settings for the brightness for this camera, I usually leave it on 50, but if you do adjust it, only adjust it to like 3 to 5%. So 3% would be around like 53, and then don't go beyond, 55, right? This is why having lighting is extremely important. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it back to 50, and then I can also adjust the contrast to really bring my color out, right? So there we go right there. It looks like I'm washed out right there. And then if I keep adjusting it, right, you see I get real red. So I'm gonna go back to the 50, all right? And then over here, this is the color intensity. So once again, kind of adjusting how my color looks, and you can kind of play with this, and you can see this is how you could literally, make your webcam look a whole lot better. Now for me, I leave the auto white balance on. Now if I take it off, look what happens, right? It just completely messes up the color. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it right back on, and you can see it pretty much fixes itself to look the best to how my lighting is actually hitting my face right now. And then autofocus. Me personally, I don't leave autofocus on. I turn it off, right? Because I don't want hand movements and all of this other stuff kind of catching me. And I know you probably seen it a little bit earlier in the video, which is because I actually had autofocus on. All right, so that's how you can adjust your settings that way. Now, how can you actually zoom in? So if I want to zoom in, all I got to do is punch in just like this. Boom, you can see I'm in a whole lot closer, both in the corner and also on the middle of the app. Now if I want to adjust myself to the right, I could do that. If I want to keep going all the way to the left, I could do that as well, right? So let me go ahead and punch back to the middle. I can also say, hey, I want to go up, and then I can also say, hey, I want to go down, so you can see more of my head above. And then of course you can keep punching in, but of course it starts to look pretty crazy, right? It depends on what you actually want to do. Okay, so that's how you use the software. So now I'm about to show you some accessories that you could actually use to make your picture look a lot more clear, such as, lighting. And if you want the blackout edition, the Blue Yeti mic that I'm actually using right now, I'll show you how you can actually get those. All right, so now you can see we got the Logitech C920 right here. So you can see what the price is, $73.90. Now that's new. Now you can come down here and actually get it for $53.99, but one thing to keep in mind is that you would be buying something that's used, so you don't know what has happened from somebody actually purchasing it and then sending it back, right? So me personally, I would go with the newer one. Now let's go over here to an accessory that I feel is definitely useful if you actually want to make sure your stuff is actually positioned right? So what this is essentially a gooseneck. So this can actually go on your desk. You can position this on your desk, and you can pretty much plop your webcam right up there and adjust it to look exactly how you want. Me personally, I'm actually using that here in my recording setup, and it's actually positioned on my light. So my light is right here. It's positioned in an angle towards me, and I actually have my gooseneck pretty much formed exactly how I would want it to be. Now you can see the price is $20. Very, very affordable, right? So you're sitting at about just under $100 or right at $100. This right here is a newer 160, which you can see is right here. I actually have the orange lighting on, but it also has like a clear lighting, right? So I could actually slide this off. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So if I take this off, I can either just have my light just like this, which it would be the exposure would be crazy. But if I put this on, then it's going to have a different look. Or I could actually just go with the clear lighting, which you can see they actually also give you as well, right? So they give you choices. Now you can see this is only $30, but at least you'll have some lighting for when you're actually using this, with your webcam versus not having any lighting at all, which is highly recommended when you get a webcam. Now, even though it's a great webcam, you still always want to have a glass lens. You also want to have, at least some decent lighting, which would be this one right here that you see. And then if you want something that's a little bit more quality, then I'll show you what I'm using right now. So what I'm using right now is this light right here, right? This is a bicolor GVM made by Great Video Maker, but you can see the price tag is up there, right? It's a $319 light. If that's within your budget, then you can make that work. If it's not, I wouldn't recommend you getting it, because honestly, you just don't really need it, if you're going to be using like a webcam. Now, if you want to step your game up a little bit more, then you can go ahead and get this lighting, which I highly recommend. All right, so hopefully you got some value from this video, and if you did, definitely go ahead ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you do plan to get anything that I talked about in this video, all the links are down below in the description. And with that being said, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.